Hey, welcome to Winners on a Wednesday. This week, I want to introduce you a wonderful lady called Danny, and Danny has quit her job just last week. She's owned properties for many years, but she's recently started rent to rent, which have made her financially free. So we're going to share the story and get the nuts and bolts of what happened and how she did it and the learning points. So Danny, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. When did you quit your job?
Friday last week.
Friday last week. High five. That's brilliant. And how long were you working in that job for?
10 years.
10 years. And you hated it, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just this kind of person that will just stick to it because I know it all. And I just thought, well, even if I go somewhere else, it will be the same.
Yeah.
So
you stuck it out for 10 years and then decided to quit. Why did you quit last week then? What happened? What was different?
So we started the rent, I say, end of January.
Yeah.
And we have now 3, which when we look at what they will have as a profit, they will replace my income in April.
And this is very new. Like these have just gone live in the last month or two. How are the bookings at the moment? Are they coming in nicely as you expected?
Yeah, I didn't expect it to go that well. I was thinking, probably March, April, they will not be that busy.
Yeah.
But we had bookings so many straight away.
Yeah.
We have June and July are fully booked.
That's fantastic.
And we have long stay bookings, which is really nice.
See, I want to talk to you about the due diligence that you did to find those particular rent-to-rent properties and go into sort of some of the nuts and bolts. But before we do that, why don't you give us a little bit of an idea about your background, where you've come from, so we can really get familiar with the backstory.
Yeah, of course. So I'm originally from Bulgaria. I came in the UK about 10 years ago. And it was just, I came in thinking, okay, I'll be here for 6 months, just work a little bit, have some money and go back home. But then I just really liked it and I thought, I'm staying here.
Yeah.
And then I met my husband. We decided that we want to buy a house and we bought the first house in 2012.
Okay.
Then we didn't really think about it as investors or anything. We just thought, okay, so we'll rent this out, we'll buy another one.
Yeah,
and what
were you just using savings to do this from your jobs?
Yeah, because we were working quite hard. I mean, he was working about 24 hours a day. He was just there all the time.
Wow.
And we were saving quite a lot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we were getting really tired.
Yes.
So then we realized there should be another way.
Yeah.
We watched your videos first. We went through some PIN meetings.
Yeah.
And we came to your crash course.
I remember that. That was was that what 12 months ago?
Yeah, last year in the beginning of June.
And what was the moment when you realised that actually financial freedom was closer than you thought?
I think on the crash course. So the first day you just think, okay, yeah, this sounds too good to be true. Okay, no, I'll come back tomorrow and we'll see what happens. And then we came back and we were thinking, my God, that's possible, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we just thought, okay, we have to do this. And we thought, because we didn't think we can do it on our own, so that's when we signed up for the academy.
Brilliant.
And with the support, the training we had through the academy, we did it at the end.
Smashed it out of the park.
It took a while.
Yeah.
Because I think at the beginning we just felt overwhelmed.
Because you were, I mean, when you came to the crash course, I remember meeting you and your husband. You were so excited, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing," and everything like that. You told me your situation about how you didn't like your job and everything, but then you got a little bit disheartened, didn't you, after a couple of months? Tell us about that.
I just felt like there's so many different ways to do it, and we were first thing to do one thing, then we just thought, oh no, that sounds better, and it just felt like we didn't stick to one thing. So I think that's why it didn't work.
Yeah.
We were just going from one end.
What strategies were you getting distracted with? What were some of the strategies that you were looking at?
First, we really wanted to buy property and do an HMO.
Yeah.
But then we realized with the savings we have, we can't really afford near us. We live in Kent. Then we started looking up north, but we couldn't find the right property, I think.
Yeah.
And because we were not that close, we were driving 5 hours up and down, and we just, no, this will not just work like that. So after that, we had the first meeting with you, I think it was end of June. And then you said to us, well, you're probably better off doing rent-to-rents because in Kent they work really well.
Yeah.
Then we started looking at that, and I think I tried a couple, when you try the calls and you speak to like landlords or agents and they say no. And I think that's when I just thought, I'm not sure if this is for me. And I stopped for a little bit.
And you put up a really depressing video on the Academy group. Do you remember?
Yeah, yeah.
No, you put up a video saying, oh, this isn't working, I'm really frustrated. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And that must have only been about 4 months ago.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if everyone has this point where they get to and they think, oh, I'm not sure if this will work.
Yeah.
But then I think you just come back to it and it goes even stronger.
Yeah.
And you can see
So
it.
basically then, so you realised that buying properties traditionally, taking savings and putting it into property was going to make you wealthy over a very long period of time, but it wasn't going to get you financially free fast.
No, and that's what I was looking for. I just wanted to get out of my job.
Yeah, you came to the crash course and you realised, oh my gosh, there's lots of different strategies.
Yeah.
And you learned about them and you saw that it was possible. Hated your job, wanted out.
Yeah.
So you then started trying different strategies, but you were confused.
Yeah.
Doing a bit of deal packaging, a bit of this, a bit of that. HMOs up north, near me, and you were confused.
Yeah.
And then when was the moment that you decided to get focused, and why did you choose rent to rent as your strategy?
It was on Leslie's training.
Yeah.
Middle of January. I think that was the point where I just thought, I'll go to that training, and if it doesn't work, I'm just stopping. I'm not.
Really?
Yeah, I just thought I'm not doing
And this was
anything.
part of the academy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us about your first deal then.
That was, you were there do you remember when I was on the coaching?
Yeah.
So we did the viewings, and I was waiting for the agents to come back to me. And on that day, on 7th February, I was on the coaching, and they texted me saying, yes, the landlords are happy, you can go ahead.
And we all celebrated together and high-fived each other. Yeah. So where was it and what were the figures?
It's in Canterbury, so it was close to me.
Yeah.
It's a lovely little cottage, 2-bedroom cottage. So it's because Canterbury is like a historical city, it works really well.
Yeah.
Like people go there because they want like an old-fashioned kind of property. So it's quite booked quite a lot because people want to see. It's in the middle of the little town, so they want to see like the historical part.
Yeah.
And I've done it my way, the part that I really enjoy from the whole thing is the dressing up. And I've made it with my favorite colors like orange, yellow, put a little bit of grey. And it just looks really bright and...
You've done a fabulous job.
Yeah.
So how did you manage to find the landlord and what did you say?
All of the deals I have are through agents.
Okay.
But we saw the landlords when we went for the viewing. They were painting.
Yeah.
So we had a little talk with them. But with the agents, I just found that, I don't know what everyone else is doing, but I called and I just say, can I view the property? I don't explain anything on the phone.
Okay.
I just find that if I say, oh, do you do company lets and stuff like that, they're just, no.
Yeah.
And I just book the viewings, go and view the property, and then I just say, well, I didn't want to waste your time, but I'll just explain quickly what we do.
So that's interesting. So you ring up and book a viewing as just a normal person.
Yeah.
And then because you think that trying to explain over the phone can be difficult, which is not necessarily what everyone does, but that's what you found.
Yeah.
But then when you get to the property, at what point do you do that? Do you, as soon as you get there, do you say, I don't want to waste your time? You look round.
Look round, make sure this property is right for I want it. And then I just say, well, the property will work really well. And I explain about company let, what we do, what properties we're looking for. And because on the first property, I didn't really have any pictures to show or I was a new company. So I couldn't really say, oh, look what we do. Yeah,
because you're brand new.
Yeah.
But so you just literally registered a company?
Yeah.
Did you do it yourself or did you get an accountant to do it?
I had an accountant.
And how much did it cost?
£20 or something.
£20 to set the company up?
Yeah.
And then how much did you have to pay the accountant?
I haven't paid them yet.
Oh, right. So you're making all this money now. Okay. So you set up a company, an accountant did that, and you paid £20.
Yeah.
And then you booked some viewings in your local area,
Yeah.
which you thought would work for serviced accommodation.
Yeah.
You just turn up and then you just tell the agent what you're doing once you've looked around the property. I mean, what did the agent say?
So to be honest, we had a couple of agents that were quite negative.
Okay.
Like when we said company let, you can see that face dropped, and
Yes.
I was like, okay, I think we should probably come out.
Right. And how did that make you feel when that happened?
Because the first viewings were quite good. The agents were open to company lets, and I was thinking, oh, that's great. They know about it.
Yeah.
Even one of the agents said, are you thinking of doing Airbnb and Booking.com? And I was, yes. And she said, yeah, that's fine. We have someone else doing it. Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's kind of a numbers game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some agents will be okay, some won't.
Exactly. So I didn't feel like with the ones that were not that open, I just thought, okay, well, fine.
Yeah. So you didn't try and persuade them?
No, because like one of them said they had really bad experience with company lets. Company took a property, then they were not paying the rent to the landlord.
Yeah.
But the people staying in there were paying. So he was getting the money in, but didn't pay the rent.
Oh, that's terrible.
So yeah, there are lots of people doing it not the right way, and that makes it a bit difficult for everyone else. But
Yeah, it does. And I think the problem is, and one of the dangers to me even doing this video with you, is some people will go out and try and attempt to do it, but they won't have the right contracts, they won't have the right training, they won't have the right insurances, and they'll do it wrong, and then they'll upset the agents.
Yeah.
And then when me and you go, the agents will be like, no, we've had a bad experience. And that's why I always urge people to be inspired from the YouTube videos, to take action, but to also make sure that you do it right, and to make sure you've got the right training. I don't know what you'd say to that.
No, that's what I have. Lots of people messaging me on Facebook now because of the videos I put on, and they just try and get some information out. But I just normally say, well, I think the first thing you need to do is get some proper training.
Yeah.
Because even if you try and do it yourself, I know there are people that do it themselves and they're fine.
Yeah.
But lots of people need the support.
Yeah.
And of course the knowledge.
Yeah.
To do
Well,
it
it's like
properly.
when you learn to drive, you can figure it out yourself, and you can maybe, you know, or grab an uncle or someone to show you the ropes. But really, if you just do it properly and get a trainer, you're going to drive well, and you're going to pass your test, and you're going to get success. And you've done that, and the results have paid off wonderfully.
Yes.
So okay, so you've had some agents that were happy, some that weren't. Once you've got the property and they agree, what kind of contracts do you use?
So I use my contract all the time.
Yeah.
Some of them are not happy to use it the way I have it, so they change it a little bit, but I make sure that the main points are in there.
And where did you get that contract from?
Leslie.
Of course, on the training, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Like, that's one of the things why I signed up for the training. I wanted to have the legal stuff properly done, because I didn't want to, I don't want to worry about, oh, what about if something happens and it's not right.
Yeah.
So yes, Leslie gave me the contract. So I had questions on Facebook about it as well. People are sending me messages. Can I have a copy of your contract? I'll pay for it. No, sorry.
Yeah. Well, people will try and take shortcuts, and they'll try and, but again, it goes back to just doing it properly, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So what did you learn then from that first, I know you learned absolutely loads, but from the successes, from the failures, what's been the learning curves?
I think one of the main things is there are lots of challenges which I didn't expect. I was just thinking, you get a property set up, all done, fine.
Yeah.
But there's so many little bits that you don't even think about until you get to that point.
Yeah.
And I had lots of times when I was just thinking, why am I doing this? This is really difficult. But then you go back to your why.
Yeah.
And you just think, okay, so I'm going ahead.
Yeah. And what's your biggest why?
So one of the biggest whys was my job, of course. I wanted to quit my job because I didn't enjoy it at all. And the other thing is my husband's working at night. I work in the day.
Yeah.
So sometimes we don't really see each other. We'll see each other at the weekend and that's it.
Yeah.
So that was like a main thing for me. I just wanted to see him more.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point to be with him if I can't spend the time together with him?
Sure.
So.
And has that changed now?
Oh yeah.
What's life like now compared?
Well, yeah, a lot better. I see him when he goes to bed. I see him when he wakes up.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to wake up early and worry about going to work. And when he's off, we can do stuff. Not if he's off sometimes in the week because he works shifts, I can't go out with him because I'm working. But now I can.
What would you say to your 1 year younger self? So if you were advising yourself from 1 year ago, what advice would you give?
I'd just I don't know why I didn't do this earlier.
Yeah.
I would probably just say to myself, just go out and do it.
Yeah.
Don't just think about this and that. Just concentrate on one thing, focus, and just go ahead and do it.
That's great. What do you think some of the biggest challenges or risks are with serviced accommodation or rent to rent?
One of the things is I don't think anyone can tell you if the property will work.
Yeah.
So until you get the property and you try it, I don't think you will know 100%, yes, this will be perfect. But of course, on the contract, you have 1 month break clause. So
you do. But that's the problem. Some people that don't know what they're doing, they don't know things like that.
Yeah, so that's why I don't worry, because if something happens and it really doesn't work, which, if you do your due diligence, it shouldn't be, but just in case.
Sure.
That's one thing you have on there that will make it easy.
Yeah, the property might just not rent out as you hoped.
Yeah.
And for you, that's obviously not being the case. How did you feel when the first batch of bookings all started coming in?
I was just thinking, I couldn't believe it. I thought it will take a time, until people see the property, because I'm not at the top at the beginning.
Yeah.
Not on top of the list. So I was going on Airbnb and booking all the time, searching for my property and clicking on it from different places just to, try and get it up.
Yeah.
And when I saw the bookings, I was thinking, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's just really exciting.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So how many properties, rent-to-rent properties do you now have?
I have 3 on my own.
Yeah.
And we've done a JV partnership with someone that we have some properties in Reading.
Okay, so you've got 6 properties in total.
Yeah.
What's the structure of the joint venture agreement, and why did you choose to do that?
I don't think I would normally do JV, but I trust that person.
Yeah.
I know him and I trust him, and I think that's really important. I know some people just meet someone on a networking meeting and just think, oh yeah, we can do something together. You have money, I have time.
Yeah.
But no, I think you have to really know the person and trust him before you do anything like that.
Yeah, that's true. So basically, have you put the money in, or have you put the time in, or how's it work?
Money.
You put the money in, and then they've put the time in.
Yeah, they are looking after the property.
And why did you choose to do that?
Even for my essays, I have a management company. I don't manage them myself because this is something that I don't really think I would enjoy.
Yeah.
So that's why when we talked about it and he said I can look after the properties, I just thought, we're happy with that.
So he's found them, he's doing everything, he's managing them, you're putting in the money.
Yeah.
And what kind of things for a rent to rent, what kind of financial costs are there up front?
So the main thing is furniture.
Yeah.
It depends, some people lease it, but I bought mine. I don't know if it's better, but I feel better if I just buy it and I know it's mine. I know the quality and everything is good.
So furniture, what else?
Furniture. If you have to do a little bit of refurb, it depends. If the property is in good condition, then you don't need to paint or anything.
Yeah.
It's only the furniture. And then mainly the bills after that, but they're not at the beginning, so...
The monthly bills.
Yeah.
And then maybe as well, you might have to pay the landlord his rent up front, possibly.
Yeah, so it depends if we had to pay on one of the properties 3 months up front.
Okay,
rent.
so realistically, you usually need a few £1,000s behind you to get one deal. Would that be fair to say?
Probably, all of my properties are 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
And probably about
5,000.
Yeah.
And that's with you buying the furniture, paying the landlord up front, all the deposit and the fees and things like that. But for this guy that you've joint ventured with, he's put in nothing and he's got a deal. So you can do it with no money. It depends on, the thing is, you've not wanted the time. You've got, I don't want the hassle.
No.
I can't be bothered. Yeah. So you've put in £5,000 per property. But then for other people, they can be bothered.
Yes.
They're happy to manage it themselves.
Yeah.
They'll lease the furniture. you know, they'll be creative and they'll
Yeah.
put in next to nothing, or sometimes even nothing. I guess it just depends on what season you're at in life.
Yeah, exactly.
So what would you say to someone that was, would you advise someone do it on their own or do it as a joint venture, their first deal?
It depends how they feel. I mean, some people prefer to do it with someone.
Yeah.
But if they don't, I just don't think it's a good idea just to go for a joint venture just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
To be with someone. So I think you have to know the person, and if you think it will work, to do it together.
So of the 6 properties that you've got, some of them obviously are joint ventures. What's your expected monthly income if you average it out over the year?
So between 2,000 and 3,500.
Okay, so about £2,000-3,000. And how much was your previous income?
About 1,500.
So you've basically almost doubled your income.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And not only have you doubled it, I assume that you work a lot less now as well.
Well, I don't really do it. I mean, I have managed the management company, so I only have to do something if there is a maintenance issue.
Yeah.
Because they don't deal with that.
So it's pretty much passive income as well.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. So what's next for you then, Danny?
What we're thinking is save the profit, because we still have my husband's income, which will cover the expense we have. So we'll save the profit, and we're thinking now finally to buy something and do an HMO, because that's what we wanted to do at the beginning.
Yeah.
So do an HMO, because at least then it's more like income that you have all the time. It's not like the service accommodations, you're not sure if you have bookings or not.
Yeah.
After that, I don't know, we want to do something more exciting.
Okay.
Something like, I don't know, maybe developments, block of flats, something, I don't know, something different.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody watching this that was thinking about really, really wanting to get into property? What would you say to them?
I would say just first get the training, because that's really important. And then when you have the knowledge and the support, just don't wait. Just go ahead and do it.
Yeah. I think knowledge and implementation together
means
equals serious success, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you, remind me, when did you go to the crash course? How long ago was that? Because everything's June. Everything starts at the crash course, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know you're now on the academy and you've been introduced to people like Trevor and Leslie and all the guys in the team. But everything starts at the crash course. So you've done your goals. You're financially free in less than a year, which is fantastic. So what final words would you say before we wrap up then? How do you want people to? What's the biggest takeaway you want people to get from this?
I think the most important thing is I want more people to know about that there is a different way of earning. It's not just going to 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
I want, like, you're trying to get this out to as much people as you can.
Sure.
I think that's really nice, because some people don't even know about anything like that. They haven't heard about it. Some people I talk to as well, they haven't heard about it. And I just think it's if more people know about this, there will be so much more people that will be happier, will have more time to do what they really enjoy.
Yeah.
That's it, really. I will have now more time to do what I enjoy.
That's fabulous. I love that. Well, it's a real honour to know you and to work with you, and I'm really, really pleased with all your successes.
Thank
and look
you.
forward to helping you further in the journey. So, to financial freedom.
Thank you.
Good job. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I think you'll agree Danny's an absolutely fabulous person. So if you would like to become a winner on a Wednesday and come on the show, it all starts at the crash course. So get yourself booked onto the Property Investors Crash Course, and I look forward to working with you as well. My name's Samuel Leeds. Thank you for watching Winners on a Wednesday. Every single week we interview our success students for your inspiration. You can watch more right here on the playlist. There's a whole playlist of them. But what you'll notice is every single winner on a Wednesday, it always starts with them coming to my 2-day crash course. So if you would like to be a winner on a Wednesday, literally come on my crash course, and who knows, in 3 months' time, you could be here in my offices on this show as a winner on a Wednesday. So get yourself booked on the crash course, watch more, have fun. I'll see you next week.